So this video today we're going to be making the Valentine flower pot. Just make them with these super easy to do hearts. I'm using up all little bits of yarn that I've got. Generally for the heart and the leaves I'm going to be using a 2mm hook, but for the pot I'm going to go up to a 3.5 because it's a lot thicker, this particular yarn. We need a stuffing, the usual piece of wire, but you could get away with a pipe cleaner if that's what you'd prefer. So let's get started. So for the love heart, we're going to be starting, we need to make 2 separate tops. So let's show you how that's done. We're going to start with our magic circle, and in our magic circle we need to do 6 single crochets. So go through, pull up your loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And I need to pop a stitch marker in now. So that's our first round. So I'm going to pull it closed. So you put on that one there. And then we're going to go straight into round 2. And we need to do an increase round on this one. So we've got 6 single crochets all the way around. We're going to go 2 single crochets into every stitch. I got 1 and 2 into the next one, 3 and 4, and the next one, 5 and 6, next one, 7, 8, the next one is 9 and 10, and then we're going to take the stitch marker out to do our last 2, which is 11 and 12. And don't forget to pop your stitch marker back in. And I'm just going to close that hole a little bit more, so gently tug. You don't want to pull too tight because you don't want it to snap. And there we have our first 2 rounds. Round 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do an increase in the stitch after that one. That's 1, and then an increase in this one. 1, 2, and we're just going to follow that all the way around. 1 single crochet, and then an increase. 2, 1 single crochet, and an increase in the next one. 1 single crochet, and then an increase. Almost there. 1 single crochet, increase, and the last set is 1 single crochet. Remove your stitch marker and pop your increase in the last one. And there we have it. Now for rounds 4 and 5, we are just going to do a single crochet into every stitch. So we've got 18 single crochets in the round at the moment, and you're going to go round, put 1 single crochet into all of them for the next 2 rows. So if you want to carry on, I'm going to meet you at the end of row 5 when you've finished your last single crochet. Okay, so I've just finished my last one. I'm going to leave quite a length on here, so we're going to cut it about here. And we're just going to pull that through. And now we need to put this to one side and do exactly the same again, but don't cut it on your second one. And I'll meet you there. So we've just finished this one. This is the first one that we made. So we're going to be joining these two together. So we're going to go into the following stitch, which is this one here. And we're just going to do a single crochet, like so. Now we're going to carry on around, so we need to do another 17. Just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then this is our last stitch. I'm going to give it a pull. 17, and it's at this point we're just going to leave this hanging because we need to use that bit to sew it up in the middle. We're going to go straight over to our next stitch, which is here, and we're going to join the two together. So you want to make these quite tight. So on the other side we've now got 1, 2, we need to do all 18, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then we need to take our stitch marker out for our last stitch, number 18. And pop the stitch marker back in. Okay, now as you've joined them, we've got a slight gap in the middle here. So the yarn that's hanging from your first one that you made, which we cut off and we left a lot of, we just need to use that to go through and pick up to join them together. So just feed it backwards and forwards through your stitches, and that's going to close that hole up nicely for you. That's it, and when you're happy you can take it out, and as you can see there's no gap there anymore. Just on the safe side you can just tie it to your tail end, it's not going to go anywhere, and then we can carry on and use that as stuffing. Feed it all back in there, and we just pick up where we left off. So row 7 we're going to be doing 4 single crochets and then a decrease, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So this is the last stitch we went into, so this is our next one here. Let's just make sure, yeah. Got 1, 2, 3, and 4, Then we're going to do an invisible decrease, so we're going to pick up the front loops of the next 2 stitches. So that's 1, flick it round and pick up the other one. Pull the yarn through and then pull it through both. That's your decrease. So then we're going to carry on with our 4 single crochets and then our decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to pick up the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, pull it through, yarn over and pull it through. So if you carry on going around 4 single crochets followed by a decrease, I'm going to meet you back under your stitch marker. Now for row 8, we're just doing a single crochet round, and now you should have 30 stitches in your round at the moment. So you're going to go all the way around, putting 1 single crochet into every stitch until you've got your 30 at the end. So I'm going to let you carry on, hit your pause button, and I will meet you back under your stitch marker when you've finished round 8. Now we're going into row 9. We are going to be doing a decrease to begin with. So we've got the first loop of the next 2 stitches. And then we need to do 13 single crochets all the way around. We're going to repeat that once more when we get to the 13. So this is 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13, and then we need another decrease. So the first loop of the next 2 stitches, the front loops, and then we should have 13 to finish with. So I'll let you carry on and meet you back under your stitch marker. Straight into row 10, we're going to start with a decrease again. So we front loop to the next 2 stitches. Get it in, there we go. Followed by 5 single crochets. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we're back into another decrease. So pick up the front loops of these next 2 stitches and then straight into another 5, and you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So I'm going to meet you back under your stitch marker. Now into row 11, we're going to start with 2 single crochets. There's 1 and 2, and then a decrease. And then 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we're going to repeat that again. 2 single crochets. 1, 2, followed by a decrease. These next 2. And 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And we've got one more sequence to repeat it into. So we've got 2 single crochets, a decrease and 4 single crochets. 1, 2, decrease, 4 single crochets. Pull this around a bit. 1, 2, 3, and just need to remove the stitch marker for my last one, number 4. There we go. Now into row 12, we're going to start with a decrease in this one, like so. I'm going straight into 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to repeat that pattern. Decrease, three single crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Decrease in the next one. 3 single crochets, 2 and 3, followed by a decrease. We should end up with 1 single crochet left at the end. Now our 3 single crochets, I've thumb in there ready. 1, 2, and 3. And then our odd one is under the stitch marker. Just pop that odd one in. Now, so at this point, I'm going to start adding some of my stuffing whilst I can still get to it. Push it right up into the heart tops. And then we can add some more as we go, but as long as these top ones are done and you're happy that they're firm enough at the top for you. For row 13, we're going to be doing 2 single crochets followed by a decrease. One, 2, and then the decrease. So if you want to carry that pattern around, I'm going to meet you under your stitch marker, which will be a single crochet to finish like it was in the last round, under your stitch marker. Row 14, 2 single crochets again and a decrease. We're doing the same as the round before, and you should be left with 1 under your stitch marker. That's 1 and 2. Followed by your decrease. It's getting more fiddly now because you can't really get your fingers in. Okay. And if you carry that on around, I'm going to meet you back under your stitch marker. So 2 single crochets and a decrease. Now we're almost at the end, so I'm going to add a tiny bit more stuffing. Whilst we can. Like so. Straight into row 15, which we are doing 3 single crochets and then a decrease. we're just going to repeat that pattern. 1, 2, 3, and our decrease. Front 2 loops. So you carry on, I'm going to meet you under your stitch marker. Go into our last row. This is row 16, and we're just going to decrease all the way around. So I think there's 4 lots of decreases on this round. One, it's quite tight. 2, that's not quite the whole stitch. Let's try that one again. 3, and then the last 2, I need to take the stitch marker out to get to those 2. Sometimes it's easier to put the hook bit up and in. There we go, got the whole stitch there. I'm just going to pull a little bit, snip it off. And I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just going to sew this piece of yarn back up through because we want a slight hole at the bottom to be able to push the wire up and through. So I'm just going to go back up through the middle here and come out anyway. Okay, a bit of fluff coming out. So there is your love heart. Now the next thing I'm going to be working on is the leaf. Okay, for the leaves we're going to start with a slip knot. We're going to chain 15. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Now we're going to work our way back down this chain. So we're going to start with a single crochet and a second chain from the hook. So that's the first chain. Here's the second one. Going straight in there and a single crochet. Then we're going to go up to a half double. So you yarn over, you put it into your next stitch, you yarn up, then you're going to pull the yarn through all 3. That's your half double crochet. Then straight into a double crochet now. We're going to do 10 of these. So yarn over into the next stitch, pull it up, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's your double crochet. Into the next stitch, pull it through 2 and pull it through 2. That's 2. Now on number 3 and 4. Didn't quite go through all those. There we go. And now number 5. And 6. 7. 8. 9. number 9, and number 10. Oh, my hair's caught in it. And we've got 2 stitches left. 1, 2. We're going to go back down to a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then a single crochet in the next one. So that is our first leaf complete. We're going to go straight in and do another chain of 15 to do the other leaf. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. And we're just going to repeat what we did on the other side. So we're going to find the second chain from our hook. We've got 1, 2. We're going to go straight in and do a single crochet. Then your half double crochet in the next one. And then 10 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we need to drop down to our half double crochet for 1 stitch. And a single crochet into the last stitch. See where I'm going? Into this one here. And that is our leaf complete. Now I'm going to leave a long chain on this one because we want to wrap it around our cable, our wire that's going up. So I want to be a bit generous with it. I'll put it through, and I'm just going to tie these 2 together. Like so. And now I'm just going to leave this to one side with our heart so we can start working on our pot. Now the yarn that I'm using for my pot is slightly thicker, so I am going up 1.5 sizes. So we need to start our row 1 with a magic circle, and we need 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pop your stitch marker in. Now I've got a baggy end, this end, and I don't like it when it's baggy. So instead of just pulling on your tail end, pull on this end to begin with, very slightly, just to bring it all in neatly. Look, there it goes. And then you can close your hole. Straight into round 2. and it's an increase round, so we're going to be doing 12 single crochets in this round, so 2 in every stitch. So this is our first one, and get it in. Got lots of layers to this yarn. Missed some. There we go. 1 and 2. So if you want to carry on, just increasing all the way around, 2 in each. I'll meet you back under your stitch marker. Into row 3, we're going to be doing 1 single crochet followed by an increase all the way around. So that's 1 single crochet and an increase in the next stitch. That's 2 in there. 1 single crochet followed by an increase. Now if you want to hit the pause button, I'm going to meet you at the end of this row. Into row 4, we're going to be working in these back loops here. So we're just going to do a single crochet into every back loop. That's going to help it stand up a bit better. Oh, that didn't quite pick all those strands up. That's better. So if you carry on going around, I'll meet you back under your stitch marker. Okay, so for the next 3 rounds, that's row 5, 6 and 7, we're just going to do a single crochet each stitch, but going through both loops. This is going up the sides of the pot now. So you're just doing 1 single crochet into each, and then once you get up a little bit, you can turn it out the right way, this way. So if you want to carry on, I'm going to meet you at the end of row 7. Into row 8, we're going to be doing 2 single crochets and then an increase, and we're going to follow that around. We've got 1 and 2 and then 2 single crochets in the next one. That's our increase. 1, 2. So just follow that pattern around, 2 single crochets, increase in your next one, and I will meet you back under your stitch marker. Let's just get that increase done for you. There we go. Row 9 is a single crochet round, so just 1 single crochet into every stitch. So I'll let you carry on if you want to hit your pause button, and then I will be back under your stitch marker. Now this last row, we're just going to be doing a slip stitch round. We're just going to make the top edge a little neater. So you're going to go in your stitch, pull your yarn through, and pull it through that one. Do that all the way around. Gives it that nice edge. And try and keep your stitches even, not too tight. And then when we get round by your stitch marker, I'll be showing you how to do the invisible finishing off. Almost there. Make sure you do your last slip stitch. Just cut your yarn and then thread your needle. So what we need to do, so we're going this way, so that's our stitch at the moment. We're going to imitate this stitch, so we're going behind this one. We're going to do a stitch over a stitch and then go back through the back loop of this one. So give it a little tug. So you have just literally done a stitch on top of a stitch, which is this one here, and it makes it a little bit neater. So now I'm going to work my way on the inside just to finish it off. Just pick it through a few of them backwards and forwards so it doesn't work its way loose. You won't see any of this because it'll be inside and hidden. Pop all the ends in. Now we need to work on the lid of our pot. So we're going to go straight back and we're going to do rounds 1 through to 3. So we start off with our magic circle with our 6 single crochets again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tighten it through. I want to pull it too tight because we need to put the wire through the centre of this one. And then we're going to go straight into round 2, which is our increase round. So we've got 2 single crochets into every stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll let you carry on because you've already done this once and seen me. So I'll meet you under your stitch marker. Round 3 is a 1 single crochet followed by an increase round. This is your last round. So increase in this one. And then 1 single crochet and an increase. So if you carry on, I'm going to meet you under your stitch marker to show you how to finish it off. Just on my last increase in that round, I'm going to finish off by doing a slip stitch into the next stitch just to make it look a bit neater. And then I do need quite a bit of yarn left on it to be able to sew the pot together. So I'm going to go with that much. I don't know why I'm still holding on to my hook. I don't need that. Pull it through. So this is what we're left with. The leaves. And we need our piece of wire. Now what I need to do is to attach the wire through here, but I need to be able to bend it at the bottom to stop it from coming back up through the pot. And also you don't want a jagged end sticking out at you either. So I do something like that. Then you've got your tail end here. You can wrap it round a few times just to keep it from popping back up through. And then onto this, we want to attach our leaf. So we're going to pop that through. There should be a hole in there to find. There we go. It's caught on a bit of the cotton. There we go. That's the base of our leaves. This long piece is what we need to go up the stem, but we want to make sure it's secured to the bottom one. So I'm going to thread my needle, put it through, right under in there, and we can tie it to this one. And that shouldn't be going anywhere. just want to feed this one up in the direction that I need it. So it can come right up in that middle bit. That's better. Now we're going to hold the bottom as we wind it through. And then every now and again we're going to push it down. You need to work out roughly how tall you want it. I don't really want to go much taller than that. So this bit will be bent over in top of your heart. So we find your heart. We have that little hole at the bottom. Wiggle your way in. It's getting caught on the stuffing at the moment. There we go. And then what I tend to do is bend it. And now as you go in, you can feed it through. Keep that taut. There we go. Give me a few minutes just to wiggle it round. Okay, I'm happy with how that's situated in there now. And then what I need to do is thread my green yarn. We need to secure it to the heart. So neither the heart pops off or the stem unravels. So you're just going to go from the inside here through. Give it a tug. And perhaps just do a couple more little stitches from the inside out, just to nick it in place. And then you can secure it off. A nice tug. So now the heart's not going to fall off and the green bit isn't going to fall or unravel. And now I'm just going to hide this up into here and snip it off. So what we have now is the top part of your pot. We need to attach it to this one, but we need to pop some filling in here first. If you've got anything hard that you want to put in there, like a milk bottle top, I don't think a milk one would fit in, a normal sports bottle top will probably fit in there to keep it flat on the base, or you can put the little beads in. It does stand up fairly well on its own, but if you wanted to make sure, you could weigh it down. So we're popping the stuffing in. Okay, so the next stage is to attach the lid to the pot. Now I've threaded my needle, and what we want to do is just put some stitches around evenly. Now you've got 18 stitches in your lid and you've got 24 stitches around your pot, so bear that in mind. You're not going to want to go in every single stitch on the pot. You just need to miss 6 stitches evenly all the way around the pot. So you're going to go in 1 stitch and back through. You can do it every one on the pot. And then back through your lid, you need to find a stitch and go in. So rather you can do every stitch on the lid but not the pot. So the pot you need to lose 6 stitches. So I'm going to lose a stitch now. I'm not going to bother with this one. I'm going to go through this one. So I know that I've got rid of one of my stitches. Give it a tug. Come back through the lid. And now I'm going to miss that stitch and go through this one, so I know that I've used 2 of them up. And I'm going to go for another one, miss that stitch and do this one. So I've used 3 of them up and I'm not quite halfway there. Now I'm going to miss this next stitch, which is that one, so I'm going to go in here. So that's 4 that I've used. The wire's come out already, let's push that back through. There we go, bend it down. Missed that one, that's 5. And I missed that one, that's 6. Right. Now I'm going to go through the base and out the bottom. Okay, so I'm sorry about that, my camera died, my battery went just on that last bit. So as you can see, it's all sewn together. You can bend it into whichever shape you want. And if you like the video, please give it a like, maybe subscribe, and I'll pop another one up. Thank you.